Oh, there it is. What up, guys? Mad Viking Toy Channel. Uh, this is just a news news report type deal. Just want to say, is my beard on point today or what? But I'm going to just start off. There's a lot of Lesnar news. In the case you've been living under a rock for the last couple of days, Brock Lesnar fought on Saturday, and he beat Mark Hunt, the knockout specialist. A lot of people said it was an uneventful fight. A lot of people said it was a dominant fight. It went 3 rounds, but it was a unanimous decision that Brock Lesnar won. No holds down, no hands down. Whatever. But that's good news for Brock, because Brock made a lot of money out of that match, $2.5 million. Good job there. I think it's going to help the WWE in the long run, just because they got the megastar. And they hold all the cards. If he ever wants to do it again, this was a one-time thing. So UFC would have to probably negotiate a lot of money or something, advertising or whatever, to have Brock fight again. I know they were advertising the card and they were talked about, but it would be a different story. And Brock's a drawing machine, so I think UFC will definitely do it somewhere down the road. He's scheduled to fight Randy Orton at SummerSlam, which I find is funny because Orton hasn't even been cleared yet to return. And from what I read, Randy Orton, this might be a retirement match. And if it's not a retirement match, he's going to be reduced to a part-time role. Which I'm not against. He's still a young guy, but he's been around forever. And he's kind of an old character. Like I said, if he's coming back, he needs a new look. He needs new ring gear, the whole shebang, because we've had 14, 15 years of the same look, the same gimmick, the same attitude, the same guy. It's old. Like, if there was a different federation that was, on par with the WWE, this would be the point where, Orton would be released and he would go there. Same thing with John Cena. WWE would let him go at some point, and he'd go to wherever. And he'd go there for a few years, and he'd come back red hot and be re-signed. I've even heard John Cena's being reduced to a part-time role. Whether or not I believe it, as in, like, not doing house shows or, all house shows. Like, he's going to miss Raw. Like, he's going to miss the big money. But we'll have to see on that, too. But, like I said, it'll be interesting with the Orton thing. Time will tell as it comes along. He was supposed to be interviewed on Monday, and they didn't do it. So that might tell you something. Let me see. Oh, and Owens was lobbying really hard to fight Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And I think he was even told at one point it was going to happen, and now it's not. And so, of course, he's pretty ticked off. And there's a couple internet videos of him at house shows taunting Brock Lesnar and spotting fans wearing his shirts in the crowd saying, "Why don't you put on a shirt of a real wrestler?" Things like that. So he's definitely trying to get heat. To get this match going somewhere down the line. I guarantee you if it goes on long enough, Brock is going to say do it, and he's going to beat the crap out of Owens in the ring. Curtis Axel, of all people, wants a piece of Brock Lesnar now. In the past couple of weeks, Bret Hart's been talking highly about him and said it's bullshit of the character they have him in, and he deserves better, and they should let him embrace his father's name and even let him wear his ring gear and let him do his own thing and get him out of social misfits or whatever, social outcasts. I kind of agree with that. I mean, he's been around now, 10 years? It's the same thing. Same thing with a lot of these guys. Kofi. They got to start doing something with them, or, they're going to be the guys that are going to get fired. I know this social outcast thing is new, but they're not doing anything with those guys. They just job them. They're the new 3MB. That's all they are. Those guys aren't going anywhere with it. They're just the new job squad. Cass is being suited as a possible contender to fight Brock Lesnar somewhere down the line. And to me, I'm like, why? They haven't done anything in the tag team ranks yet. They've been around for a few months, and they already talk about splitting them up and having them each go their separate way. How about you give them a 2-year run at least in the tag team division? Yeah, they're hot right now because they're new and everybody's enthralled with them. Let them, fight for some titles, win some titles, do something before you start breaking them off. Yeah, Cass does have probably a nice future ahead of him in the heavyweight division. But one, he's also, in my eyes, got to bulk up a little bit. He's just big. That's all he is. He's just a big dude with a great gimmick. But I don't know. A lot of that's just got to go away. Let me see. There's a rumor that the higher-ups in WWE do not think Ambrose is worthy of his title run right now. And he could be dropping the belt at Battlefield. And I'll be a little shocked if that happens, because that's a pretty shitty thing to do. What's he headed up? It'll be a month at Battlefield. I mean, he's not being booed. Fans are behind it. At least it looks like it. I'm going to throw it on Seth Rollins. They're not going to put it on They're not going to put it on Roman Reigns, I can tell you that. Roman Reigns is probably having this match, and I guarantee you he's getting deregulated down the card after that. Depending on where he goes in the draft. Oh, what I've heard about the draft, the 2 big names for each division, or brand, this is kind of shocking. John Cena and AJ Styles are going to be the 2 main guys on SmackDown. And Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are going to be the top guys on Raw. And that's the only things I've read so far. So that could be a little bit interesting. And I've also heard that, we saw on Monday that Stephanie and Shayna are going to run, she's going to run Raw and he gets SmackDown. But then they're saying that Daniel Bryan is going to be the commissioner for SmackDown. Well, listen to the whole reason that Shane and Stephanie are fighting, because they want to control the SmackDown. Why do you have to have Not that I don't want Daniel Bryan around, but that just seems dumb. Why are you fighting for control of the company to run it when you're going to have a manager do it? I don't know. Just dumb. So they're basically making 3 figureheads of the entire brand. Well, yeah, there's going to be 4 because Triple H will be in the mix too. It's just, I don't know. That storyline's just starting to get dumb. But hey, I guess it'll be nice because you can see Daniel Bryan again. I was wondering why she was doing the yes, yes, yes in the ring. Like mocking, even though they weren't talking about Daniel Bryan. I'm like, what is she trying to steal that? And Ambrose and Rollins are going to be fighting on Raw for the belt. So, like I said, maybe something's going to happen, maybe something's not. I'm sure it's just the build for Battlefront, but you never know. I want to know what everybody thought about that Wyatt scene, the Wyatt fight at the compound. Now, that was pretty damn cool. That was something that WWE has not gone out of their little safety box in years. It kind of reminded me of the John Cena, Eddie Guerrero parking lot brawl, but this was out in the woods in Hillbilly Land. It was different. It was theatrical. I do find it a little funny that TNA just does something like this 2-3 weeks ago, and here comes the WWE's, their version of, the Great Deletion. But I think it's great for their setup for Battlefield. Why do I keep saying that? Battleground. I'm right. All right. I really did like the video. I thought it showcased all of them pretty damn good. I liked the way that Braun Strowman was basically hulking up the whole time, and how Bray Wyatt was hunting Xavier. I thought he was going to kidnap him because he kept trying to throw him into the car and maybe convert him. But I definitely liked how it ended though, when all the car lights went out and then you saw the other Wyatt family members come out of the woods carrying lanterns. My only thing is, why do they all got to wear the stupid sheep masks? Who cares? We're never going to see those people again, but it's supposed to emphasize the Wyatt family's huge and he's got followers. I'm sure it was a thing because, I'm going to go buy the sheep mask because I'm a Wyatt fan. I just don't get the sheep mask thing. Why wasn't other people wearing the black mask then? It's just, like I said, there was people who were there. If I was there, I'm not wearing a fucking sheep mask. See, now I'm getting worked up. I like the Wyatts. This has actually got me excited again for the Wyatts because they're showing they're putting something into it. And supposedly this might be leading to something. Well, right now they're feuding with New Day. But I've read that Bray Wyatt has called out The Rock to face him at WrestleMania 33. And I think that'd probably be the main event if that happens. Imagine the promos these two are going to cut on each other. You know, the match I would believe would be fairly good. I didn't really like The Rock's matches with John Cena, even though they were hyping them up as classics. And he looked gassed and whatever, but I know he's in a lot better shape nowadays than he was for that crap. But I think that would be a really good match. I think that'd be my cat is right in front of me. I think that'd be a really good match for WrestleMania. So that one's got me kind of excited. But that Wyatt fight, tell me what you guys thought about that. Like I said, that was the kind of stuff the WWF used to do when I was a kid. They would have these outside little adventures, you know, like when Jake the Snake lured the Ultimate Warrior into his dungeon or whatever, and it was all filled with snakes, and Warrior was being bitten, and, you know, stuff like that. Paul Bearer actually had a funeral home, and The Undertaker would build coffins, stuff like that. You know, it was something outside of the ring, and it was done right. So, I don't know. Let me see. Rumor is that Vince is no longer high on Roman, and that potentially is going to get de-pushed after Battleground, and this push could go to other superstars. And that he's going to turn heel. And I've said that all along in my past couple of videos. He does need to turn heel. I think that'd it would benefit him. He's not a babyface anymore. The crowd turned him, whether he likes it or not. And like I said, he needs to come back and just be like, F you. You don't like me? Screw you. I'm still the man, and I'm getting my belt back, even though I don't think he's getting that back anytime soon. The New Day is possibly breaking up after the brand split, and I'm sure a lot of people have already heard it. And I must have a genius mind of wrestling, because I've read that Kofi Kingston is supposed to start to get pushed up the card to the main event, and that Big E and Xavier will turn heels. I don't know about Xavier turning heel, but I could see it for Big E. Big E on his own, I can't see him being a funny comedy dude. He needs to go back to being the big, bulky War Machine gimmick he was doing before. He's the Muscle. Muscle isn't really supposed to be funny. You know, they'll have him dancing, being the next Brodus Clay if he ain't watching himself. Nikki Bella, she's going to see her doctor in a few weeks. Knock it off. She's trying to knock all my shit off the table. And it could be career deciding. If the doctor isn't clear, rumor is she's never going to wrestle again. So unless she gets married to old Mr. John Cena, that'll be the end of. I don't know. Maybe they could make her the general manager. But I can't stand Nikki Bella. I just can't stand her. I just can't. I don't know. And I've read that when Tyson Kidd's contract is over with at the end of the summer, he'll be released, and that'll be the end of Tyson Kidd. So, like I said in other videos, poor bastard. He deserved a lot more, and I can guarantee you he hasn't made a lot of money in this business. And he deserved a lot more than what he got. He won a couple tag team belts. Has he ever won anything else? Has he ever won a feud he was in? Alright, I don't know if I said this already, but Cena's I think I said that. Neville is returning soon, and he's coming back for a revenge feud with Jericho. Jericho's a lucky man. He's been sticking around for longer than he was supposed to, but at least Neville's going to get some revenge or payback out of the fight where he broke his ankle. But I can guarantee you he's going to tone down his flipping and flying. Come on, cat. His flipping and flying and all that other crap. I said, you notice Seth Rollins has too since the Kane incident, and I always saw that coming too. You can't do all those flips and land on your feet and stuff. I was just waiting for one of the matches where his leg was just going to be out to the side. But it's a shame because he's a young dude, but you have to tone that stuff down. You can't do that crap every single match. It takes years off your career. Every veteran will tell you that. I'm kind of excited for this because Curtis Hawkins and Jimmy Wang Yang, of all people, have gotten a call from the WWE to possibly come back. I don't know about Yang. He was good in TNA, but they just booked him as such a stupid, stereotypical, just dumb racist role that Asian cowboy. Not that they're going to bring him back doing that, but you never know. But I'm like, Hawkins has gained quite a fan base since he's left, doing with the Grimm Show. And I mean, he books his own wrestling events, and they look just as big, if not better, than NXT events that I go to. So, they probably want to cash in on that a little bit. He could come back and maybe be something. A lot of people are shitting on it on the internet, saying, "Oh, he'll just come back and be a jobber." Yeah, he might, but he might not. But I think it'd be cool if he came back. Come on, Cat. Mark Henry is leaving. There you go. Is leaving the company at the end of the summer. No word if he's going out on a big feud, if he's going out with the whole big shebang or anything like that. He just might just disappear one day and we don't see him anymore. Sheamus is rumored to be turning face, which I don't get at all because he was never a good face. I think he should just stay the way he is. What's his Apollo Crews is supposedly got heat from the main office and a lot of the boys in the back because of sloppy ring work. I guess he's botching in the ring and hurting people. And if you notice, he's kind of been de-pushed. He hasn't really been on TV anymore. Cody Rhodes landed a role on Arrow from his good pal Stephen Amell or whatever his name is. I guess he liked him so much he's going to be on Arrow now. So good for Cody Rhodes, right? Bret Hart's been getting a lot of attention recently, and one of the last things, other than with the Curtis Axel speech, he went to, I guess, the WWE 2K17 event, and he was questioning his stats while he was at 83 or 85, and he noticed that Triple H was at 98, and he confronted the higher ups, and they said, "Well, you know why? He's the boss, and we have to kiss his ass." And Bret Hart took offense to it, saying, "One, Triple H has never been good, and two, he had never laced up my fucking boots," and I guess he left the event. which to me is true. I know a lot of you younger kids, you know who he is, but you didn't see him wrestle. Bret Hart was something special, and he was probably better than Kurt Angle. And I know Kurt Angle hasn't had the years that Bret Hart did. Bret Hart was wrestling professionally since he was probably 18, 19. That's probably why he was so damn good. But I don't know. If you have the network, go and watch his shit, especially in the late 90s when he was still in the WWE. Even when he was still tag teaming. His tag team work was phenomenal. The guy was... Go watch his King of the Ring match with Bam Bam Bigelow, man. That was one of my favorite matches ever. But yeah, no, Triple H is not... I used to, and I don't want to piss people off, I was the biggest mark for Triple H in the late 90s, early 2000s. I went to all the pay-per-views that came to town around here, especially when he was headlining. I was there in the Survivor Series 2000 when he got in the... when he was in the forklift thing, supposedly, and then who dropped it and flipped it, and he was supposed to be crushed in it and killed. I was there. I saw it. But after he got hurt and he came back, and he was just a big bloated steroid, watery retentive machine, he was never the same. He wasn't as fast anymore. He couldn't have marathon matches anymore. He always had to have people helping him or backing him up in matches. He wasn't the same. I used to love his old entrance where he came out to the techno music, and he was ripping off Scott Steiner with the mesh shirt, and he would just come out there and face down, all bulked up under the lights and spitting. I used to fucking love that. That was my favorite shit ever. I loved him. But Triple H is not. He's only still around because he's married to Stephanie, plain and simple. And no, it's not biased or whatever because he's married to her. It's true. He was decent. He was good for a time, and he's been booked to win, and he's just average in my eyes at this point. The chamber match that he had, and all he did was sit in the chamber selling a super kick for 45 minutes while everybody else worked. And then he botched the finish at the end of the match against Goldberg. That's still etched in my brain. It just, But anyway, I gotta move on because this is 19 minutes. This is interesting. This is the highest paid people in the WWE in the last year. And honest to God, I did not know people got paid this much. But I shouldn't say people, I should say two people. Who do you think came in at number one? If you said Cena, you're right. If you said Brock Lesnar, he came in second. John Cena came in making $9.5 million. Now, that's without pay-per-view revenue. I'm sure a lot of that is merchandise sales. I don't know how it works anymore. That can't be his contract money. But what do I know, though? Lesnar came in at an even $6 million. And really, like I said, I've always guessed people made at least $1 million. Maybe top guys made 2 or 3, but almost $10 million a year. But Cena works though. He works his ass off, and Lesnar is an attraction. He's worth every penny. Now, number 3. Get this bullshit. Triple H at 2.8, almost $3 million. The guy wrestles once a year. He thinks he's the fucking Undertaker. Yeah, I know he works backstage, but that's a wrestling contract. That's wrestling money. He gets another contract for being backstage or the COO, if that's really a position. That's a separate contract. He has a performance contract. So that MFer makes $2.8 million a year. I'm surprised Stephanie's not on this list. But this is only the top 10. Number 4, and this is kind of shocking, but I guess it's a contract. There's a fruit fly in here. 2.7, just $100,000 below Triple H. Randy Orton. Now, granted, he's missed, the last year? Last 10 months? But like I said, I guess that's a contract. But he's been around. He's a top guy. There's no disputing he's not a main eventer, whether or not he's there or not. So I can't really say anything. Triple H is a one-time-a-year main eventer. He should not be making that type of money. Coming in at number 5 is Seth Rollins with 2.4. And I find that a little funny, but I guess he's the chosen one. He's the next main eventer. He's already held the belt 3 times. After him, 6. Who do you think? Roman Reigns, 2.4. So Seth made $300,000 more than him. Who do you think comes in at number 7, kids? Which is shocking. I figured they paid... Oops. I figured they paid this guy at least $1 million a year just to do Mania. And, that's probably including his merchandise, all the shit they still sell. Well, that's Undertaker. But he makes $2 million a year. That's a nice paycheck. Hey, honey, I gotta start getting into ring shape 2 months before Mania. Collect my $2 million paycheck. And now, some of these are shocking. Now, who do you think comes in after Undertaker? He gets $1.5 million a year. No, not that guy. Nope. Big Show. Granted, he's a veteran, but what has Big Show done in the last year? Shit, what's he done in the last 2 years? Name a feud. Name a big match he's been in. No? Can't think of one? $1.5 million a year for Big Show. Now, and this is going to shock the shit out of you too. Who do you think's under him? Kane. Now, granted, he's had a lot of FaceTime in the last year as part of the Authority and stuff, but that's not really how you're paid. And yes, he's a veteran, he's been around forever, but he's really just a semi-main eventer. He hasn't main evented anything in forever, either as Big Show, but those are those guys that you can throw into the main event every once in a blue moon, say somebody goes down, like a Booker T or an RVD or something like that. But Kane making $1.3 million. That's why I think some of these guys got to start moving out. Now, number 10. Now, if I was number 10, I'd be a little upset. Especially with my current situation being the world heavyweight champion and all. Dean Ambrose makes $1.1 million a year. Now, he wrestles his ass off. He's on every show wrestling. He's in big feud after big feud after big feud after big feud, just like Seth and Roman. And he doesn't make their money. He's $1 million short. He's $1 million 3 short in Seth Rollins' case. He's $1 million short with Seth. I would say after his contract expires, he's getting a pay raise. But who knows when that's going to be. But I think that's interesting. I hope they print these out every year. I wish they did a top 20. I would love to know. Because I remember when Adam Rose got in, he was bitching about, I'm on Raw, I'm on SmackDown, I'm doing house shows, I'm making appearances, and I'm making 12 or 14, it was something like $1,600 a week. That's not money, man. And he's like, I'm home for a day, I wash my shit, and I go back out. So, I was going to almost close off with that. I must have skipped over it. Of course, if you haven't noticed, there hasn't been any firings, and the draft is coming up. And word is, a lot of the NXT people are going to be called up. But a lot of people's contracts are expiring. Oh, God, it's 25 minutes. All right, and the word is getting out that Triple H is lowballing a lot of people. And it's pissing off the talent, and a lot of people have threatened to walk or quit, or they're going to be asking for their release, or when their contract is up, they're just walking. There's supposed to be up to eight current wrestlers who are currently going through negotiations, and Triple H has lowered their pay, and it's like a take it or leave it type situation. So, like, yeah, they can push people out, then they can bring in NXT people and pay them probably half or less than, what they're paying whoever that is in dispute. So, I don't know. They said maybe before the draft, a lot of people will start walking, or it'll be a lot of people getting slips after the draft because those new people will be coming in, and they're going to either be favored, pushed, or whatever. And the people with the complaints are going to be gone. Like Ryback, he's just sitting at home writing his contract out. He's going to be gone. But I think that's an interesting little thing because that's going to show how Triple H is going to run the rodeo when old man Vince dies or passes on the reins. He's going to be a stingy motherfucker. But he's going to pay himself through the roof. But anyways, I'm yakking. Thanks for watching. I know this was long. If you like what you saw, leave a comment, subscribe, come back for more. I should have some stuff to review in the next few days. What we got? Battlefield Front Field next weekend, and I'll be doing a predictions video for that. I think that's it. It should be it anyway. I'm not going on a half an hour. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. Come back. Talk to you later.